Sou José Calhariz, podem me chamar Calhariz, quem não conseguir pode me chamar José. Hello, I'm Jose Calhariz. I'm going to present what I call my life in Git. This is a long time history of me working with computers. I'm going to do a short introduction about myself. I'm going to explain what problem I'm trying to solve with this. The inspirational articles I've read many years ago that was making the, wow, this can be done. Then I pushed almost everything in Subversion, and then I decided to learn Git, do the same with Git, and the conclusion in the end. I classified myself as a sysadmin. I administer Linux machines and Linux since 2093. I was around somewhere that date. I'm a Debian contributor, mostly bug reports as a starting, and Debian user. On my spare time, I'm a free software programmer. I take care of some programs. SwitchConf, my first. ATDaemon, my second. And last, LogCheck. LogCheck is very important for my work as a sysadmin. And I'm a Debian developer since 2017. So what was the problem? I have several computers with accounts spread around the world. Not around the world like the person that writes the article, but spread around many places. And I have some bash alias, some alias, that I needed very much to use. They are second-hand nature. Some key programs need to be tuned to my liking. This means that if you are not tuned like I like it, they are not productive. So this means I need to share configuration files between many accounts. And I like to store the history of some files. I like to see the history, the evolution, how they started, what problems I solved in the middle. And I have several software projects. And as a sysadmin, I keep a diary of all the computers that I sysadmin. This means that I keep records, what I've done with computers, when, what software they are installed, what was the message of the kernel when the computer boots, that kind of stuff. And in the end, I have more than 100 private Debian packages. I will talk a little more tomorrow about this private package. So this started. This started with this article on Linux Journal, and a journal that exists since the beginning of Linux. I think it was the first magazine about Linux. In 2002, I crossed this article, CVS Home Depot Keeping Your Life in CVS. I found it very interesting. Oh, you can keep every of your files inside this CVS, a control version system. So I like it to read, but I had two problems. I didn't know anything about CVS. At that time, I was just using RCS and having the more archaic control version system. And I had not enough storage on my Linux workstation. It was 4 or 5 disks of 4 gigabytes, and my home dir fits precisely in one disk. My mail dir fits precisely in another disk. So I didn't have enough space at that time to do the jump. But in 2005, most probably in Linux Weekly News, another website about news, I found the evolution of the first article. Subverting your home dir, keeping your life in CVS. And it was another interesting reading. At that time, I was already using subversion because I decided to learn subversion as a way to keep my, not to keep my stuff, to learn a way to store history of my files. So I was a user of subversion RCS. I had enough storage on my Linux workstation, so it's now that I'm going to follow the article and pledge on subversion. So I started to put most of my files in two big subversion repositories, one public and another private, as suggestion from the article. And what I put in there, I put a bin directory with some very used personal scripts, and it is on the path of the shell, so they are easily accessible. A home base where I personalize all my programs. Source common is an old directory from old ways that I used to keep my scripts, and I synchronize using old methods like rsync. So where I copied files between 2, 3, 4 computers, copying bidirectional, hoping that I didn't delete anything or lose any job, hoping that all the computers have the right data, so anything is not lost. Source, SRC, where I put all my projects under subversion, and I've done a count 120 directories of projects inside of it. Diário, in Portuguese, sorry. Diary of the computer data sysadmin, and all my documents under subversion. So what I have inside of it? I started to follow closely the articles. So I have a svn fix, small script that does the bootstrap of my new account, or to fix things that cannot be done with subversion. svn status, to quickly know or hard status all my directories under subversion. If you are seeking to commit lost files, changed files, is a quick way to know the status of my home directory. svn update, to update all the directories. And sysinfo update. Sysinfo update is a problem that I've developed along the years to help in case of a disaster, to recover from backups. So where I store every information that I think is important, is a key component for my diary of the machines. So it was important, it's stored with a link in this bin directory. What I put in my home base, as I said, is where I put all the files that configure my programs. So, of course, I put there bash profile and bash rc. That's what I use to personalize my bash, with my likings, with my shells, with my alias, with my prompt, with other setups like localization, and most important, my configuration of Emacs. And you can see how old is this configuration, because this started to create when Emacs was only 19. So this means I was still a student here in Technical. DevScript is a configuration for several tools as a Debian developer, where I put the idea of my PGP so the system doesn't pick up the wrong key. Screen-RC, I don't know if you know the screen comment, is a multiplexer of terminals of text. This means that if I not personalize it, I don't know if you are really on the shell or inside a session of screen that can be hung up, switch off, and get back again later. So what the clue I use is a bar on the bottom saying what program I'm running, so this way I know I'm inside a screen session. not on my shell. And svn fix, like on bin, this is the script that put links of all the files inside home base to their proper places on the shell, on my home directory. So it tunes all the programs. So what I have in source common? My old development directory of my scripts. Musica. Scripts, I keep all my CDs with copies on my computers. So this means that I read music files from CDs. I have developed a series of scripts to standardize the name of the files, to have a central place of a database to put all the name of the musics, the artists, that kind of things. Scripts, a lot of scripts that I use for benchmarking, stress test, because I will talk more later. And it's easy for play. This was the original place to development this script. What I put in source, all my software projects are moved to here, including my official work as a Debian. The switch-conf and sharp at that time was the package that I maintained. Switch-conf, if you noticed, is the software that I am the upstream. I'm the author now. And sharp was a routing daemon protocol. At that time was very used in universities because it was alternative way to have in a normal computer advanced routing, an advanced router with multiple protocols. And a lot of my private package, my private meta package, and my small software projects, they all were here. So what I put inside my documentation files? Articles. My articles and the documents I made with LaTeX. Collections. I keep collections of my books and magazines that I have at home. The diary of all the machines that I admin is inside the doc directory. This way I could quickly check anything I could do quickly diff between the diary of two machines and try to find anything relevant that is different. That should not be different. Plans, files that I use to plan from Emacs to plan my life. I used at that time. Directory from tickets and plans for my stuff from my travels. And in my personal wiki pages with my documentation. All of this was inside Subversion. So, one day, I decided to learn and practice Git. Because Git is very old, it's very famous, and is considered much more advanced than Subversion, and more difficult. So it was time to learn. But no one made an update of these two articles for Git. How to convert from all your home directory inside the Subversion to a Git version. So at work, they decided to use Git for almost everything. Later, they get a GitLab, a personal GitLab store that is in our servers in the university. So I decided to do this on my personal computers to move slowly from Subversion to Git as a way to learn Git. And at work, it was gone full Git. No Subversion, because the repos of Subversion at work, some of them are dead, some of them disappeared, or they are phased out. So I keep the same structure. At work, I have a bin directory, a home all, a source kit, and a diary. What is different? Instead of reusing the source dir because it was used by Subversion, I use source kit, this name. So I put all the important projects that I work under Git inside this directory. And I have a diary of the machine under Git. So what I have inside the bin directory in Git at my work? A Git fix, like the SVN fix, to bootstrap to OMD and to fix things that Git cannot manage. A Git status, to show the status of all directories under Git. And a Git update, that uses a Git pull to all directories. And if it is a root account, it will update the diary of the local machine by running czif update. What I have in normal, the same that I have in subversion. The difference is this is on the job. This is for files shared between all my colleague workers. So I have a bash profile, a bash RC. This time is not tuned to my liking, it's tuned for the standards of the school, standards of the IT department. So because of that, I store several files called bash local. For example, bash local call, where I fine-tune the bash to my liking, to what I have in subversion. So this means when I enter in the machine, I run bash local.call and I have everything like I like it. My personalization, my email address, my PGP key, and my prompt. Quilt, because you are not a user of Quilt besides outside Debian work, so it is tuned for Debian work. And the string RC, like I said in previous, my clue, so I know I am inside the screen session. So what is the most common projects inside source sheet? czif update. I've done the upgrade from subversion to Git. So now, czif update inside the Git, inside this directory. And very recently, I picked up my scripts for stress testing a machine from source common. I put it on the Git, and it's now here. So, in conclusion, after some years and extra storage, I have to put almost everything inside the subversion. Now it's much easier to have the same behavior in all my computers and accounts. Being a laptop, being a computer at work, being a Debian machine from Debian, not a personal Debian machine, my personal Debian machine, but the Debian managed by someone else at Debian. This is much easier to keep everything aligned under my liking. At home, I slowly dived into Git. At work, it's full Git. I don't keep any subsidiary on the subversion besides some key programs that are very old, very long history of subversion. No one decided to do the switch. So I have a single place with subversion and several Git projects, and it's much easier to look into my directory, know what is important, what is not important, to do backups, to differentiate things that are important or not, that are relevant for backups. Thank you.
Yeah, what's the size of your home directory now? I'm guessing it grows every time you do a commit.
Yes, but the repos are not inside my home directory, just the Git, because Git is distributed. This means that I have a computer somewhere on the internet where I've stored my subversion repos. Let me check. Let me check how big is my home directory, because I really don't know. My home directory at work is 38 gigabytes. And my home will be bigger because of Chromium. Not because I have relevant documents, but because I have the caches of the browsers and a lot of other things. And it's running, it's running. Six is 2, excluding my mail. My mail is not under Git. My mail is stored on my personal computer. My personal computer is accessible by VPN from anywhere in the world. This means that I do an SSH and use MUT to read my email from Japan, for example. And it works.
And you don't have any problems with other providers marking you as spam or something?
In what sense? Why am I a spammer?
When you say that you have your email on your personal computer, are you
Oh.
running on the computer or just being stored?
It's stored on my computer. In the beginning, really beginning, I tried to send a mail from my computer at home, but I was easily considered a spammer. So that's why I decided to switch to the SMTP servers of the provider, and now I'm using the university.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because as an alumni, I can have the mail forever. Yes, until the school decides against it. Okay, but the current decision is forever.
Forever.
Yes, forever.
Okay.
So to give an idea how many emails I receive emails from all my servers with log check, all the mailing list of Debian, and this means that I receive more than 1,000 emails per day.
So a couple of terabytes then?
No, a couple of gigabytes per year. Not a couple, 10, 20 gigabytes per mail per year.
How many of those you actually read?
Mail from my servers, I read almost all of them. In Debian, I have to catch up since 2021. So I try to read all of them. I try. The mails from the servers, as they are most patternized, sometimes you can easily read one mail per second. So it's 1,000 mails, but it's not so difficult to read all of them. But it means that I have a big file of proc mail to filter all my mails into different places. So what fall in my inbox is very small. No more than 5-10 mails per day.
So these mails from servers actually it's information of things that are happening inside.
Yes.
Outputs from scripts and things like that.
Yes, and the result of log check. Log check runs a server of filters on the logs of the machines, filter what is common, and pick up attention on important things, unusual things, and email me every hour.
Why do you have it on an email and not having like a dashboard where these things are popping up?
I'm not a programmer, really.
Okay.
I'm a programmer just in free time. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do a dashboard. I don't know what it should look like. An email, I have to read emails.
I guess someone has made a dashboard somewhere, right?
Yes.
But dashboards seem to have limited utility when you get past the cool factor. I've heard of a few people who went to dashboards and then just went back to it.
Oh, really?
I suppose it depends on if you're a visual person or more text-based.
It's like those stock exchange people have all the graphs going up and down. I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm rich, I'm poor. or crypto. I'm going to buy a Porsche. Nope.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, figures.
all right, is that it? Thank you.
Thank you.